Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, everybody, depending what time you're listening to this. For August the 26th, 2015, this is Thoughts, Comments, Opinions. My name is Hubert O'Hearn. I am truly looking forward to today's podcast. I'll give you a bit of background on it. Over here, there's a BBC show called Would I Lie to You? Where basically you have two panels of three, and people take turns either telling the truth or making up lies. And the other panel has to guess whether it's a true story or a made-up story. So anyway, a little over a month ago, there was a guest, and there's always a guest shot on each episode. And this young woman comes out, and the three panelists describe what their relationship is to her. Of course, only one of them is telling the truth. And one of them said that this is Charlotte, and at night I watch videos of her wrapping presents. And that was the true one, okay? So myself and a bunch of other people around the world watching this, well, what's all this about? So looked it up on YouTube, and yes, there was the ASMR Angel, Charlotte Angel, today's guest, wrapping Christmas presents. So I became curious as to what is ASMR. I'd never heard of it before, this fantastic tingling response to certain sounds and textures and things. And Charlotte is on to describe it all to us and tell us about her videos and experience. I think you'll really enjoy this one. But instead of a podtini, sit back, relax, fire up a cup of tea, and listen to the words as they fly through the air. We'll be right back. And talking to us from England, we have Charlotte Angel. Hello, Charlotte. Lovely to talk to you.
Hello, Hubert. How are you?
Fantastic. Fantastic. Now, I've told our audience already about Would I Lie to You, and how I came to find your videos on YouTube.
Yeah.
But I haven't explained ASMR because I don't totally understand it yet. What is ASMR?
Each time I explain ASMR, I change the way I explain it, and I've narrowed it down to the simplest way I think I can explain it, and that is when somebody scratches their nails down a chalkboard and you get that negative physical reaction. ASMR is the complete opposite to that. It's when you hear a sound or someone's doing something for you, like personal attention. It's just a physical reaction to something that's nice. It's not a sexual thing, which a lot of people do get confused about. They think it's a fetish. It's not. It's just a very lovely, relaxed sort of, I get goosebumps, but people say tingly feeling from all kinds of sounds. Each person has a different favourite thing. And that's essentially what it is.
Yeah, because I've known people who have sound sensitivity.
Yeah.
Like I I'm from Canada originally, and I knew people who could not go in a hockey arena because just that sort of hollow, echoey sound. It just it was the nails on the chalkboard thing, you
Mhm.
know. But yes, so this being the exact opposite. Have you felt it your whole life, or was it a relatively new discovery for you too?
No, I've probably felt it from different things from very, very early on, but I can't remember it. But the things that stand out was my optician's appointment. Whenever I went to the opticians, I just thought they were the most relaxing appointments in the world. I would sit there in this darkened room while my optometrist fiddled on with different lenses and put different lenses in my glasses and leaned right in quite close with a light and shined it in my eyes. And I used to just sit there in a trance and never want it to end. And the only other thing I usually got it from before I knew what ASMR was cleaning. If someone were to clean a desk at work around me, I would go into that trance and just sit there and I could almost fall asleep. So I have had it from being very young, I'd say maybe 8 or 9, but that's when I knew I had it. I probably had it from younger, but just can't really remember it.
Yeah, so it's not always sound. It can also be habits, things that you actually do.
Oh yeah, it's each person, it's very, very personal to each person. So the trigger is personal to each person and also the physical reaction. So a lot of people talk about head tingles and they get this lovely tingly sensation in their head. Now, I've never felt that. Mine is in my torso and it kind of goes out through my arms and my legs. And my triggers are they can be sounds, but more often than not, mine are personal attention. So when someone's physically around me cleaning, that's my trigger. Whereas my best friend's mum, I actually spoke to her about it. She discovered she had ASMR when I was telling her about it because she loved to sit and listen to people turning the pages over of a newspaper.
I get a very odd one, and as I've mentioned on podcasts before, your videos are pretty much the summer substitute now, for my lighting a fire in winter. And
Mhm.
what I get is that I almost always have stuff, my sinus is clear. So thank you for that. I breathe better.
That's a really, really peculiar one. I've never heard anything like that before.
I am not from this planet. Canada is just a disguise. I am a Vulcan. Um, so remind me what ASMR stands for, because when you're on Would I Lie to You, and I looked up the videos and I saw ASMR, and I was trying to think, what does the acronym stand for?
It stands for Autonomous Sensory Meridian Response.
No wonder I couldn't remember it.
Yeah, it's a little bit complex. Even I don't really understand. It's all very medical and it's all about like sound and sight and your physical response. A lot of people have argued that it doesn't make sense. So the reaction and the sound doesn't actually make sense. And I think someone campaigned a long time ago to try and change it. But obviously ASMR had already stuck by that point. So it doesn't actually, when you tell someone what it means, I don't think it fully makes sense to them because it doesn't really make 100% sense to me either.
So when and how did you discover the videos?
Well, I'm a bit of an oddbod, so one day I decided that I'd like to learn some Russian for absolutely no reason. Um, and I went online, just went onto YouTube and I typed in Russian lessons. Now, previous to this, I had been looking for relaxing voices because I love listening to a very soothing voice. And I'd been listening to Lita, and she's a masseuse who does massage videos online, and her voice is heavenly. So I had connected her voice to feeling very relaxed. And then one day I thought, oh, I'll look for some Russian lessons. And I came across a video of this lady who was teaching an invisible class of children some Russian. Now, it turns out that this girl was Maria Gentle Whispering. Anyone in the ASMR community should know who that is. And I remember just watching it and being absolutely mesmerized. And I had no idea why. I wasn't learning any Russian, but I couldn't turn off this video. And I got all the way to the end, and then I thought, I'm going to have to check out her channel. So I checked out her channel and she had all these other videos, and I think I binge watched about 10. And in the end, I looked up what ASMR meant, and it was just this light bulb moment. It was like, this is the name for this feeling I've had all of my life.
Do you have any idea what percentage of people have an ASMR response to something, or does everyone but like you, they just don't know what it is?
I don't think everyone has it, because there are many people I speak to who have no idea what I'm talking about. My boyfriend doesn't get ASMR. He understands what it is because obviously he sees me making videos, and he fully gets what it is, but he doesn't have it. So I couldn't give you a percentage, but I know that there are probably millions of people out there who have it and who just haven't discovered the connection between ASMR and this feeling. They're probably going through their daily life thinking, oh, I really enjoy, watching someone get their hair brushed, and have no idea that there's this huge community online who actually make videos to trigger that.
Exactly, exactly. When you mentioned your boyfriend, I chat to Juliana in Macedonia every night on Skype too, and people are going to say, yeah, sure, tingling, but it is the tingling response, just the energy of the conversation, you know. Yeah.
Mhm.
So, what made you decide to start making videos yourself? And I know you do a wide range of them, and we'll get into that. But what made you decide to start, and what did you start with?
Well, previously to making ASMR videos, I had made vlogs, which are video blogs for anyone who doesn't know what that is. And it's just recording my everyday life, and putting them online. Loads of people do it. And I'd done that for about 3 years, just for a bit of fun. And when I kind of discovered ASMR, I was slowing down a little bit on the video blogs just due to time. So when I was watching the videos, I it was more of a creative side of me. I have my creative outlet is making videos and editing. I absolutely love that. That's what I did in university. So it was a mixture of already making videos on YouTube and enjoying it, wanting to have this way to like have a creative outlet and basically do anything I want on an ASMR video, which you can. And also, I felt like I was giving back to people. The community was relatively small, but it was building very quickly at the time. Um, and I'd watched so many people's videos, and I just thought I can do something and put my videos out there and help other people in the same way that the current content creators have helped me as well. And I think my very first video, I was very nervous about it. Even though my video blogs had my face in, this was something still very, very different and unusual, and people were kind of unsure what it was. So my very first video didn't have my face in it. It was just my neck to the table, and I had some straws that I'd actually borrowed from work. We'd bought a load of straws for an event, and when I got the straws out of the box, straight away I thought, "Oh, these sound lovely." And I actually talked to people in the office. I'm saying, "Don't you think these straws sound really nice?" And they look at me like I'm an absolute idiot. So I said, "Oh, I'm just going to borrow these straws for the night." And they're like, "Okay then." And the
Don't make eye
video,
contact. Yeah.
well, yeah, I thought everyone just liked the sound of paper, but it turns out not. So I borrowed these straws for a night, and I just made a video crinkling the straws and a few other items in that video, and it literally just started from that point. Then obviously I got a bit more confidence. I started putting my face in the video, and it just snowballed from there, really.
Yeah, because you're up to over 60,000 subscribers now on YouTube.
Yeah, it's pretty insane. Never ever did I think I'd be up to that many. When I did my vlogs for 3 years, and I think I only had 600 people in all those years. So never did I think I'd hit over 60,000 in 2 years. And it just keeps on getting bigger and bigger. Obviously, the more people know about it, the more subscribers you get, the more people then want to start making the videos. So it's a little bit insane, but I'm enjoying it.
Now, from one of yours, where you answered um, viewer questions, you mentioned that, and you alluded to it that you studied video and so forth in college, but you never wanted to be a performer. You were a stage manager. So, do you find it strange being, in effect, a performer now?
I actually don't consider myself a performer. In college, like the over here, obviously it's college after school and then university. I actually studied performing arts in college for 2 years, and at the end of those 2 years, I decided that it wasn't for me. I didn't enjoy it. It was too serious, and I was a bit more sort of laid back, and I wasn't enjoying it. Then at university, I did media production, which obviously taught me how to film and edit and things. And I enjoyed that a lot more. I always enjoy being behind the scenes, helping create something rather than in front of the camera, which is odd because I'm in front of the camera now, but the difference is I'm still completely alone in my room that I record the videos. So even though I'm in front of the camera and it's all like attention on me, I don't feel like that because I'm completely alone. If there were to be an entire crew there filming me, I would absolutely crumble. There's no way I could, especially not with a script. Whenever I do my role plays, they're always completely from scratch. I have a rough idea of what I'm going to do, but I never write a script because in the odd time that I have written them, it's just a nightmare to film. I don't know what lines I'm doing. I get stressed. So I kind of go in with just a rough idea and think I'll just make it up on the spot. But a few people have said in the comments, oh, you should be on TV, you should be an actress. And I just think, absolutely not. There's no way I would do it. What I'm doing right now is completely different to being an actual actor or actress.
Do you imagine that you're talking to a specific audience, a specific person, or whatever?
Yes and no. There's two different types of videos. When I'm doing a Q&A video or a ramble video, when I'm sat chatting to the camera, I do feel as though I'm talking to my viewers. So I'm already anticipating their comments and what they're gonna, chat back to me and stuff. But when it's a role play, I'm very focused on the actual storyline and the sounds. So I think any other video apart from a ramble, I'm just completely in the moment, making sure things sound good and the scenes are set up properly, and the continuity is right. But when it's me just sat there chatting to a camera, I feel very connected to the people who are eventually going to watch that video.
Um, I had a couple of questions to ask you, and from Mariana, who's a friend of mine in the Netherlands, and it's a good question. Um, do you get the transcendental state, the ASMR response while you're doing the videos, or is your concentration so much on the video that you don't get the reaction while you're making it?
I've never had ASMR while filming. I've enjoyed sounds, so I did a video not so long ago of I think flipping a phone book, and I do enjoy the sound of that, but I didn't get ASMR when I was doing it. The only time I've ever come close is when I'm editing, and maybe I've finished editing, I'm just listening back to make sure it's all sounding good, or if I go back to a video of mine and it's just playing on in the background, I quite enjoy it, but I've never really gotten ASMR from my own videos.
I'm going to hazard a guess that your favorites must be biscuits of Britain, where you have tea and try different biscuits. Am I right? Because I know that they're my favorite to watch, but are those your favorite ones to make?
Oh, to be honest, probably not because they take so much setting up. I have to trek half of my kitchen up to my spare bedroom, like my kettle and teas and milks and things, and it's just a pain to set those videos up. When I'm doing them, I love them because obviously I'm getting to taste these amazing biscuits, but they're so hard to set up and so labor intensive that I kind of dread thinking, oh God, I've got to set up all this stuff for the video. My favourites are probably just rambly ones where I can sit down, turn the camera on, and there's no sort of setup really. It's just straight into the video, and I can get things off my chest and I can talk to people. And on the flip side, my other favourites are role plays where I can get completely dressed up. I can put a load of makeup on my face and just immerse myself into a completely different character. And although that is intensive to set up, there's a lot of props and a lot of work goes in beforehand. Biscuits of Britain is kind of the same format all the time, whereas my role plays, each one is completely different. So the Bad Witch, all these props I've got them for the first time ever, so it's all almost new and fun to do those. But don't get me wrong, I do love Biscuits of Britain just because I get to eat biscuits and drink tea on camera.
And and speaking of characters, Daisy Flowers, who for anyone who hasn't, well, I'll let you describe what's Daisy like because she's a joy to watch.
Oh, Daisy Flowers. She came about by complete accident. I decided to film a job interview role play, and I put this green shirt on. It's actually my boyfriend's old shirt that he never wore. So I put that on and put my hair up in a bun. And I kind of had a Miss Trunchbull character. Now, Miss Trunchbull is the really horrible teacher from Matilda. And I thought that's the line I'm going to go along with. And when I kind of, because I stand in front of a mirror and I try a few facial expressions and voices out and things, and I thought this isn't relaxing. Miss Trunchbull is not going to relax anybody, and I thought I need to soften it up a little bit. So I went rooting through my wardrobe and I found this pink sort of sweater vest, and I put that on the top, and I thought that looks atrocious. It just clashes. I thought, but it works. It makes me look a lot more gentle, and I think it was a flower or some jewelry or something, and I put that in and I just softened my face and I stood in front of the mirror and I had the Daisy Flowers expression on my face. And I thought, this is the character. Now I've just got to get a personality and a voice to go with it. And she wasn't based on anybody. A lot of people think I based her on Ali ASMR Request's character, Salmon. And she's kind of similar, but I never based her on anyone I know or a character that already exists. She just kind of evolved out of nowhere. And even when I sat down to start filming, I had no idea how the character was going to be. And she just ended up being this super socially awkward, very shy person who you could literally just walk over. If you knew somebody like that in real life, you would feel sorry for them because they would get walked all over in real life. And looking back on the character now, I don't know if you know the character. It's a guy called Frank Spencer.
I was about to say Frank Spencer. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure some mothers do have him. And I love that character. And I never had it in my head at the time, but looking back, it is very Frank Spencer, very clumsy, and just you kind of want to give the character a big hug and stick up for them.
Every day in every way, we're getting better and better. Absolutely. Absolutely. Loved. Some others do have them.
Hmm.
Now, coming back to the ASMR community, one lovely thing, and I'm terribly envious of this. My listeners give me nothing but grief. Yours sends you lovely gift packages. When did that start? That is fabulous.
It started out because I did open a PO box because a lot of people have said, can I send you something? And obviously, I don't want to give my home address out.
Right.
So I opened a PO box and just said, yeah, here's my PO box address. You can send me something. And it's partially because obviously I give things to them. I give them relaxation and maybe relief from anxiety through my videos. They want to give something back to me. And I think I opened it more so for Biscuits of Britain and Beyond, where they could actually send me biscuits and they would be part of the video. But I find a lot of people, myself included, when you've sent somebody a package and they open it on camera, because it's your package you've sent them and you see all the things that you've packed, it gives you extreme ASMR. So in ASMR, for me personally, personal attention is a huge trigger for me. So whenever someone is doing something for me, I absolutely love that.
It
And
really shows, because you're just sheer joy at it, and you can tell from an audience point of view that you're not acting this. That this is real and a sincere reaction to it, and it is fabulous to watch. It truly is.
it's lovely to get things. Like, I don't actually open these boxes before. I mean, I take the tape off because it's so loud, but I
Yeah.
have no idea what's in the box. And it's just when they send me food, I'm thinking, what is this going to taste like? And I always try to give honest reactions because I've tasted some horrible things, which I think people like as well. I'm not just going to sit there and lie about something that's disgusting. They actually like to see that I don't like this thing.
Yes, and the poor people who make the banana toffee jammy Dodgers. They're never going to live it down.
No, they were absolutely disgusting.
I agree with you. They are. They are. Speaking of, I had another question from Miranda, who lives in Scotland, and she asked if you happen to know whatever became of Romany biscuits. I gather that they were like and an Oreo. Do you have any idea?
Romany
Yeah,
biscuits.
Romany.
I've never heard of them.
Ah, okay. Yeah, because she was saying that she used to love them and can't find them anymore. I discovered that there actually is an an Irish biscuit because I mentioned to you in an email that I would send you biscuits, but Ireland has the same stuff. I don't think that you have polo biscuits there, even though they're Jacob's biscuit.
Polo biscuits. They
Yeah,
sound interesting. We definitely don't have these over here.
they're very coconutty. Here, I'm holding them in my hand as I speak.
Oh, see, when I think of polo, I think of an actual polo, the mint.
Right.
So I would have thought they were minty.
Exactly.
Do they have a
Exactly.
hole
No.
in?
No. No. It's a firm biscuit, and there's coconut inside, and they ought to be paying me money because I'm plugging their product.
Ah, no, I've never heard of those.
They'll be winging their way to you. Um, so okay. So you also have meetups where you're from with other ASMR people. What are those meetings like when you're actually live and in person?
They're completely different to what everyone actually thinks they're going to be like. They think we're all going to be whispering and giving each other ASMR, when in reality,
It's a
if that
piss
did
up, right?
happen, it would be really, really weird if we started whispering around a table. So it's just like meeting up with friends. The first meetup that I attended, it was in Newcastle, and it was very surreal when I walked into the pub because I've watched these people on videos. So to me, it was almost a bit like I'm meeting a celebrity. So I met Emma's Whispers Red, and I was like, oh my God, it's like I'm meeting a celebrity. And she said the same back. She said, you're taller than I imagined. But once we got over that, after like the first 10, 15 minutes, it was just a group of people who have something in common, getting to know each other. And we did chat a lot about ASMR, so equipment and different kind of videos and things, but it was very, very normal. We talked about politics and religion and all sorts of other things.
Hmm. And And pardon me, but my dog Stella has been a complete nuisance, so I have been letting her back in and out, and that's the thing you're hearing in the background. I would suck at ASMR because it's never quiet here. But so okay, we should get to the portion that I call advertisements for myself. And I will put links on the video and on the page that the podcast is on and so forth. But how do people find you and so forth? And do mention your Patreon campaign too.
Yeah, the easiest way to find me is just to go onto YouTube and type in the ASMR Angel. I'll pop up on there. And then if you click on a video, you'll find that in the description box, I've got links to my Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and of course my Patreon account. Patreon is just a platform where you can support me and you get extra things. So I put up little private videos for people and have like a secret Snapchat with them. But everything, if you go to YouTube, everything is there on how to follow me and contact me.
Fantastic, Charlotte. Thank you ever so much for doing thoughts, comments, opinions. I'm going to keep watching and keep doing fabulous work. Thank you.
It's been a pleasure. Thanks for having me, Hubert.
Cheers. Once again, I'd like to thank our guest, Charlotte Angel, the ASMR Angel, for being today's guest on Thoughts, Comments, Opinions. Please do look up the ASMR Angel on YouTube. And if you enjoy her videos as much as I do subscribe to them. You can also check out her Patreon page if you'd like to support the upgrade of her videos. You could, also support our Patreon page, if you're of a mind to support our videos and upgrade our podcast. Just thought I'd mention that. Anyway, thank you ever so much. We'll be back in a couple of days with another new episode. So, as always, from all of us who work the late shift here in Ireland, good night, everybody, and be seeing you.